Hey there, hi there, hello world. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little different. We are going to be taking a look here at this really cool tin box version. This is a recent release from Kim Krans, creator of the Wild Unknown series. And you may be familiar with the Archetypes deck. Very large, round, beautiful deck. However, this is the Pocket Edition. Very cool. I was super excited to hear about it because I love the Archetypes deck, but the cards are really big for my stupid small hands. So I'm really excited about having a Pocket Edition, and I can't wait to pop this little tin open and share this with you all. So we will take a peek into the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetype by Kim Krans. So before we begin today's video, a quick and humble reminder. Make sure that you give a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell to be notified of any future uploads. With that all said, let's go ahead and get on into today's video. Alright, so if you are not yet familiar with Kim Krans' creation, the Wild Unknown series, the Archetypes deck is this really cool round deck with this really neat diamond pattern, and we have very beautiful vivid art on the cards themselves, for example. But if you'll notice, it is a really thick deck and it is very big, so it's very difficult for my small hands to shuffle, although I found other ways to work with it. But yeah, it is a rather large deck. Stunning nonetheless, and I've gotten some really great very deep readings from this deck, so I love it. And that's why today I am so excited to share with you the Pocket Edition. Now, this was just released at the time of the filming of this video. It came in the mail today and I just kind of jumped to it. So yeah, really wanted to share this with you right off the bat. I am opening it up, first impressions, real time on camera. So very excited to see what we get here. So just as a quick overview, let's take a look here. Again, this is a pocket size, so it does come in the little tin container. I don't know if it's a can, but it is a cool little round tin, as the cards are round. So on the outside here, we've got the little diamond design pattern there. Beautiful. And then we have the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes Deck and Guidebook by Kim Krans, with some of the iconic little mixed media art pieces here featured. A little candle, more features like a rose. I don't know if that's a penny, kind of strikes me as a penny, but yeah, very beautiful. And here at the top once again. So yeah, that is pretty much the container, the deck, the box. Yeah. So let's go ahead and pop this open. Right, so what we get with the Pocket Archetypes here is this really cute mini guidebook. This is so cool. It's so tiny. Right, we go from one of the two extremes, right? The other one was just really large and this one's just really tiny, and I love it. I am so excited about that. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. So the Pocket Archetype Guidebook is this very tiny, fits in the tin, little guidebook here, and you do appear to have all the information that's in the full size. So amazing, awesome. This is really cool how tiny this has been shrunk down, and it just still remains chock full of information, as to be expected with Kim Krans' work. She always has the most beautiful and in-depth guidebooks. All right, so we have a contents page here. Oh, it is so tiny. I feel like having one of my stuffed animals hold this. It's so cute. All right, the ocean within the mountain. All right, beautiful. And this is, I believe this is full color. I mean, there's a lot of text here, and I'm thinking, I'm going to go back and double check, but I'm thinking this is exactly the same as, you know, the full-size edition of the guidebook, as far as like colors and printing and imagery goes. And yeah, look, this is really cool. We even have the little preview of the card itself. And then here we have all the information written vertically, diagonally, well, not diagonally, but vertically. Yeah. Okay, very cool. We'll take a look at the guidebook in depth I think just very briefly, because again, if I were to really like sit here and flip through this entire thing, it is 267 pages, which is incredible for a tiny guidebook like this. But again, it just goes to show the quality and the amount of love and care and depth that goes into Kim's work. And this is just really, really awesome. I'm super excited to have this very small little guidebook here. Right, so there is a couple chapters here, and we'll just kind of briefly go over what we've got. I skipped a little bit here in the front. So yeah, we have a contents here, which goes into a lot of the details, such as some of the introduction, such as the ocean within the mountain, the sphere of influence, awakening the archetypes, understanding the deck, using the cards, and then we get into the wild unknown archetypes. So they are broken down into a couple different, I guess, subjects, titles, archetypes, the selves, the places, the tools, and the initiations. So again, if you're interested in checking this out, I highly recommend this deck and this guidebook. It goes into so much depth. Like, I don't think I can cover half of it in this video alone without going on forever, and nobody wants to hear me talk that long, believe me. My voice will start to give out. So yeah, we've got, again, just kind of that beginning chunk of information here. There are some spreads to try, which I do highly recommend. I think, what was it, the crown? No. Summon the Divine. This one was really cool. Anyway. Yeah, ooh, that one's cool. All right, moving on, because I'm getting distracted by this cute and tiny deck that I'm very excited to work with. The selves here is the portion of the cards that are meant to be read with the archetypes regarding the self. Then we get into the places. So these are archetypes represented by places, or places represented by archetype. No, I had it right the first time. All right, so the tools. And then we have the initiations. So very, very cool. Again, this is a really beefy, tiny guidebook. It's 267 pages. Amazing. Just so cool how it's so tiny, yet chock full of information. Very nice. I hope I don't bend it too badly. I'll probably still refer to the larger size guidebook just because it's, I guess, easier to prop open, but this is an amazing amount of information to go into a pocket guidebook. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at those cards. Right inside the tin here, we have the archetype cards, and I will pluck them from their paper prison there. Set this aside and take a look. So very, very beautiful. Oh, they even kept the deck back. Now the cards themselves, I just did want to note, as I'm kind of finding here, the cardstock, understandably, is not as thick and sturdy as the full-size card. I feel like this one's definitely much thicker, but again, that just really lends itself to the fact that it's a bigger card, and I think if it had been printed on this cardstock, these cards would not last as long at all. So very high quality with the larger cards, and very good quality. I would even say, like, it is high quality for this size of a pocket deck. They're typically not going to be super duper thick, but yeah, there you go. All right, so very, very beautiful. They're very lightweight too. I want to say they're very lightweight. Perfect. It's going to be a pocket deck. And just real quick, before I put this away and before I forget, here is the size comparison, just so you can see here. Here is the edge of the pocket edition, and side by side. Let's clear these out of the way. Side by side. Big difference, and that really makes a difference when you are somebody with hands my size, holding on to this deck versus this size. So definitely I will find it easier to work with the pocket edition of this deck, but I'm not letting go of my full-size version. That's just one of my favorites. I love working with it, and super cool now that I get to carry it around with me. But yeah, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get on into the flip through. All right, so here we are at the beginning of our journey here with the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes deck. And I will just go ahead and put some nice calming music as we journey through the 78 cards here of this deck. So sit back and relax and follow through the journey, here beginning with card number 1, the Mother. All right, my friends, so that was the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes deck. I hope you enjoyed checking out this very beautiful deck. Final thoughts, I just want to say I love this deck. I love it so much. And I love now that it is even smaller, so pocket size, I can carry it around with me. This is going to be one of my favorite travel decks, I guess you could say. So I can pack it and take it with me when I go out of town and just be able to have this deck to do my readings while I'm away. And yeah, very beautiful art, as you can see. I'm curious to know, was there a card that really drew you in? Is there a card that really called to you? Let me know in the comments below what you thought of today's video of this deck, the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes. I'd love to hear what you thought about this deck. Does it vibe with you? Is it not really your vibe? I'd love to hear what you think. So, in the meantime, I have shuffled up the deck and I'm just going to pull a card. Let's see, since this is about archetypes, what do we need to know here? I guess let's use these two as an example. I was going to say, what do I need to know about this deck? But I don't know, maybe this already came out. So we got the fault line and we got Anima Mundi. Okay, so let me just use the guidebook here to show you how we would maybe interpret this in a reading. So for the fault line, let's go ahead and grab that page here. Okay, so here in the fault line, this is the fissure, the crack, the weak link. All right, so in the guidebook here, we have when light, when dark, and go deeper. So let me see if I can get this to focus. When light, redefining reality, breaking open. So this is, I'm feeling like the archetype energy of this deck is really about cracking open. That really stood out to me. So just really being kind of that point where things just start to fall apart and open up, but in a way that leaves room for something new to be discovered, something unknown, something behind all the facade. This is the fault line, of course, just being that point, I think, which kind of shakes things up. And I feel like this deck, of course, being an archetype deck, really will point that out in your readings if that's kind of the energy you're drawing upon. Now with Anima Mundi, this is the tending to the sacred details of life. When dark, it has another meaning, go deeper. So actually, let's take a quick peek again here at the go deeper meaning. So Dance to Everything is Broken by Bob Dylan. So let's see. It is possible that something a loved one said caused a crack in your relationship that has never been mended. Revisit it. The time to heal is nigh. Interesting. In Japanese kintsugi pottery, gold is used to mend cracks. Breaks are thought of as precious rather than something to be hidden. Don't know if that focused. It's a little hard to see on my camera, but yeah, so this definitely feels like a call to break open is the phrase that I'm getting here. So let's read a little bit on the fault line. Imagine walking across a frozen lake that begins to crack before your eyes. No matter how optimistic and brave you might be, panic ensues. You become fearful and tense and long for stable ground. Such is the energy of the fault line. It's the energy of walking on eggshells, of precarious dynamics, of sensing what is ready to break open into chaos. It's likely this cracking open is overdue, as fault lines develop slowly and naturally from underlying elemental pressures. This card comes as a potent warning not to deny the shakiness that's afoot. It's much better to prepare yourself for change than walk along the fault line pretending all is well. There is no easy fix for the situation at hand. It will require a foundational shift that alters the current dynamics from the ground up. So yeah, I feel like that really goes in line with my usual interpretation of this card being just really like things cracking open and just being ready to expose yourself to a darkness to explore, something that you've never really considered, never really seen. So yeah, this deck is definitely a deep one. Let's see, with Anima Mundi, let me start over here. So it says, Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared, hang on, I lost my place, consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. That is really powerful. So yeah, Anima Mundi, just the all. Accept all, reject none. So definitely feeling that energy from this deck. Very strong first impression here with these two cards coming out for the pocket version. Let's see. So again, when light, tending to the sacred details of life. So just, I feel like it's kind of, to me, recognizing the oneness of it all. And in terms of how to interpret this about what vibe this deck gives or what's its energy, I'm definitely feeling like it's cracking open so you can learn just the connectivity of everything, right? Archetypes are all around us, and I feel like this deck, again, once you really start working with it, you'll really kind of discover that there's just so much to explore with it and reevaluate things in your life, people in your life, places in your life, and how they kind of play that role in shaping you based on the archetypes. But enough of that. I've gone on for far too long. I hope you enjoyed checking out this video. Again, feel free to let me know in the comments below how you liked this deck. And yeah, I can't wait to hear from you. So until next time, take good care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.